Hello, how you doing? My name's Adam. Welcome to A Duda Reviews, an entertainment channel for entertainment purposes. Today I'm going to be discussing a crazy film that I saw yesterday that really definitely needs talking about, and that film is called Everything Everywhere All at Once. It stars Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, Ke Huy Quan, who you may recognise as Data from the Goonies,
Booby traps, that's what I said!
and Stephanie Hsu. Now, how to explain this film? The premise of it is pretty confusing, really. Basically, it's about multiverses and like how every single little choice you make in your life branches out into infinity different kind of multiverses, basically. So, there's a multiverse now where I'm telling you all this, but I'm wearing a red shirt instead of a blue shirt. There's a multiverse now where I have more than 190 subscribers. I have like 5,090 or something. It's just a crazy sort of concept, but it's a really cool, interesting concept. And it's about this unsuspecting woman who is pretty much living a very bog standard, mundane life. She's not really enjoying it. She's getting a divorce from her husband. She works in a laundrette, and her and her daughter's relationship is pretty strained because she isn't very accepting of the fact that her daughter's a lesbian, so it causes a bit of family trouble. So when Michelle Yeoh's character and her husband, who I couldn't believe was Data from the Goonies, I was really surprised by that when I saw him. I was like, that's Data from the movies. Like, I knew straight away, even though he's a lot older obviously, but it's just sort of his mannerisms and everything seemed exactly the same as when he was a kid. So it's really cool to see him. But Michelle Yeoh and his character, her husband, both go to an IRS meeting, and while there, her husband's body is overtaken by the alternate universe version of himself, and he tells her that the world is in a lot of peril and there's the really bad, ominous character coming after her, and she's got to sort it out, and she's got to summon her alternate selves to battle this unknown evil that she's got to fight. It's a really crazy premise. It can get maybe a little confusing at times, but it's really fast paced and it's really funny. The whole film is really amusing. Jamie Lee Curtis has some really sort of funny scenes as well, because she plays the sort of grumpy IRS woman, but she plays it really well. I guess the main sort of theme of the film is the mother and the daughter relationship and families in general, and trying to sort of hold that together and to be a bit more accepting of one another. There's also the message thrown in there of being kind to one another and to sort of never take for granted who you are as a person and where you are in your life as a person, because it's all meaningful. Even though it feels meaningless sometimes, it does have more of an inherent meaning than you believe, because we're all in this crazy, massive, wide multiverse, and it's all for a reason. Basically, it's all crazy. But yeah, the visuals in this are really good. The fight scenes are really good, especially. So there's some really good like kung fu scenes in this, and she really Michelle Yeoh's character really whips out some good kung fu skills. Apparently she's like trained previously in other films for kung fu. I don't really know Michelle Yeoh's previous work really that well, but yeah, she's really good in this. She's really emotive and like has some good physical altercations going on. There's some really wacky, crazy scenes as well. I mean, I won't go too much into it, but I'm just going to say fingers, and that's all I'm going to say. And then when you watch the film, you'll understand. But yeah, there's some really weird stuff going on in this film. Really crazy, original concepts that makes you really go along for the ride, and you're sort of really intrigued as to where it's going to go. The only thing I will say about the film is it did kind of drag a little bit near the end. The end felt a little drawn out to me. It was sort of like I was really involved, I was really interested, this was crazy, where's this film going, wow, this is brilliant, until the third act, where it sort of had suddenly started bombarding you with like the messages of the film and what it's all about, and sort of, which was cool and everything, but it kind of really drew that out a little bit for me. But by the very end of the film, it felt justified, and it did sort of feel worthwhile. But like I say, they could have maybe trimmed that down a little bit, and it wouldn't have hurt the film at all. It had a good soundtrack to it, and yeah, it was a really exciting film. I love these A24 films because they just seem to just take chances with their stuff, because there's no sort of MCU universe type pressure on them to make this massive continuum film. It's just like they can just make this crazy little odd film, and you know, they seem to draw a lot of attention for it because A24 has built up that kind of reputation that they're going to do some quality films. When it's an A24 film, you know pretty much that it's going to be a good one nowadays. I mean, they're hit and miss, but you know it's going to be original, and you know you're going to see something different, and this is what I really enjoyed with this film. Yeah, so I could highly recommend it. It's weird as hell. It's a really weird film, but that's what I liked about it, and the performances were great. Especially Stephanie Hugh, who I haven't really mentioned, the daughter character. She plays a really good part as well, and some of her costumes are really crazy as well. She had some really like crazy costume designs coming through, and she looks like something like Lady Gaga or something weird like that. But she put in a really good performance, and obviously the lead performances were really outstanding. So yeah, definitely recommend this film. If you get a chance to see it, please do. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section down below. Love you very much. See you in an alternate universe. Goodbye.